If you're a proud multitasker like what I used to be, I have a bad news for you. You know what? The researchers have found that you're essentially not a multitasker, but you're a fast task switcher. And when you switch between tasks too often, essentially what you're doing to yourself is you're not allowing yourself to get into that flow state, to get into a state of flow that only happens when you are in the zone for a little long enough where you feel that the time has faded away, where you feel that the concept of time is no more valid when you're in the zone, you're locked in, right? Like as in a lot of sports, they say, he seems to be locked in and in the zone. So if you're someone who truly wants to bring out your best and challenge yourself to go past that, so here are some things that you can start doing to not become a multitasker, but just focus and deliver higher quality work and stay productive. Okay, ready for it? Welcome to Performance Edge Podcast. This is Karthik. So happy to see you here and for you to be in this mode of learning with me. So the first thing is time block. I spoke about this in some of my past podcasts as well, where I said when you time block, it's essentially you holding yourself accountable. So instead of, even if you want to get to task A to B to C, time block, where in that time block, you just focus on task A and then go to task B and then to C and then return back. Okay. But if the switch is happening too often and too fast, you know that you cannot deliver a higher quality because it only happens when you are in your best mode, best zone, and when you're in your flow, as they say. So the second thing that I would want for you to start practicing is something that I trained, and in fact I keep training a lot of my students on, is on the release meditation technique, right? So you have, let's say, 3 big tasks that you want to accomplish in a given day's time. So before you start the first task, you start off with the release meditation. You release the tension, it's meditation technique, and you set an intention for the next task. And between task 1, 2, and 3, where you have 2 gaps, you'll have to give a gap of 2 minutes or 3 minutes. You do that release meditation technique again, where you release the tension, set an intention for the next task, and go about performing that task in that block of time in the best of your capabilities. Okay. And I totally know that you might be thinking, Karthik, you don't know the workload that I have, which in some days, in a lot of days, I have to multitask. I have to switch tasks more often. So, and especially if you're a high performing individual where you have a high standards of excellence, you tend to put a lot of pressure on yourself when you're switching between multiple tasks. And this happened to me as well, where I was supposed to deliver impactful training for my friends, community members on the high performance habits and how can they stay productive over the next 12 months. It was a big pressure for me, although I practice those habits myself and I've created courses out of those things. This was a different kind of pressure for the first time for me. And you know what I asked myself during that situation? I asked myself, is this training for you or is it for them? And the answer was clear. It was a training for them, and therefore I had to get into that mode of service. So whenever you're feeling that pressure, take that pressure off your shoulder a little bit and get into the mode of service, because what you will realize that you're probably at a certain level of habit, let's say level A, B, C, and D, and you will realize that a lot of people are not even aware of the level A of the habit or level A of the task that you perform, right? Or the level A of the skill that you already have that you want to deliver there. So it's okay. Let off some steam, get into the mode of service, and know that it's going to be awesome for you, for the other person, and you can just step into that mode of service. Okay. So if you're ready for it, to make the next 12 months not a year of multitasking, but effective task switching using these principles and methodologies, let me know in the comment box and let me know if you're going to practice this, because you know what, This is going to give you the performance edge back. Thank you so much for listening to this. I'll catch you soon in the next one. Take care.